wet and windy for northern and western areas and a milder outlook for many this week before it turns colder and frostier by the weekend. All the details of that and more coming up on Good Morning Britain, live from the Great Hall at Hampton Court Palace. It is chilly first thing this morning, Charlotte. And do you know, I was just thinking this time a week ago, I was in Glasgow reporting on COP. There is another week to go. And this weekend, I saw this really powerful image. It was amazing, and it came from a video message. It's less than 2 metres. 2 of the 9 islands are already on the verge of going underwater, and current trajectories from climate scientists say that it will be potentially uninhabitable there in as little as just 50 years' time. But globally, this is happening. By 2050, 300 million people will be below the sea level rise, where coastal flooding will happen. How about closer to home? Well, if we saw nations that are going to be most impacted by climate change, so there'll be much more on that as we head through this week. But weather-wise for us in the UK, it's actually much milder this week. Winds are southwesterly. We have wetter and windier conditions around as well. So first thing this morning, Scotland and Northern Ireland, cloudy, mild with outbreaks of rain. Damp and drizzly through Wales and southwestern areas of England. Southeastern areas, sunny but a cold start to the day, so you may need to scrape those windscreens. And as we head through the week, it's southwesterly winds keeping it mild, but wetter and windier across northern and western areas.
Laura, thanks very much.
Good morning to you. You find us this morning in the Great Hall at Hampton Court Palace, and it really is great. Absolutely spectacular. And later on this morning, we'll be looking at a very special installation outside in the grounds. But weather-wise this morning, and actually for much of this week, it starts unsettled and turns that bit drier. And throughout it is much milder than it was last week. So this week, we start with low pressure to the north. Weather front slips its way southwards. It's kind of a pain because it slips south and then turns back northwards as we head through the week. But throughout the wind southwesterly, and that brings with it these milder conditions before it turns colder by the end of the week with a return of some nighttime frosts. But first thing this morning, this is how it looks. First of all, we have thicker cloud through northern and western areas, and here is where temperatures have held up. But further south with clearer skies, temperatures have fallen below freezing. So yes, we're greeted by sunshine, but a cold, frosty start for the southeast. You may well need to scrape your windscreen first thing. Now, as we head through the day, weather fronts make progress from the north and west. So for Wales and southwest England, it turns increasingly cloudy and drizzly. Scotland and Northern Ireland, increasingly wet and windy from the north and west. For southeastern areas with the best of the sunshine, the best of our temperatures into the mid-teens. So let's take a look at our 7-day outlook, where your weekend is always in view. Scotland, Northern Ireland, northern areas of England. Here you can see temperature-wise, it sits around about maybe even above average as we head through the week. But if we look at our percentage chance of rainfall, this is the one that's fairly hit and miss as we head through the week. Higher for the next few days with weather fronts around, slipping them way southwards. So actually Wednesday turns drier, but the threat of more rain through northern and western areas as we head towards the end of the week. Fortunes further south for the next 7 days for England and Wales, away from the north of England. Well, again, temperature-wise, we're sitting around about, if not above average. It's worth pointing out by the end of the week with clear skies, temperatures fall below average by night with the return of some frost. Potential chance of rainfall, well, it's sort of damp and drizzly for the next few days. Hit and miss, no great shakes. It does turn though drier for many of us as we head through the weekend. Good morning to you. Yes, I am at a beautiful outdoor remembrance display here at Hampton Court Palace. There are 125 near life-size silhouetted soldiers and 75 beautiful wreaths, a really poignant display. And this is going to be here until the end of the month. Hampton Court Palace at the moment closed Mondays and Tuesdays, but open for the rest of the week. And if you were heading out this morning, particularly for eastern areas, you'll need to wrap up. Boy, is it chilly, but it's a beautiful sunny start to the day as well. Actually, a very divided outlook to start first thing this morning. So weather fronts have moved in from the west, bringing cloudy skies, outbreaks of rain, driest, clearest and coldest in the east. So for Scotland, Northern Ireland today, it is cloudy and wet, outbreaks of rain, heaviest in the northwest, breezy here too. Wales and southwest England, clouds moving in, that brings overcast grey conditions, a little damp and drizzly. Best of any sunshine, central and eastern areas of England with the best of our temperatures, 14 or 15 degrees. Clear and cold in the south tonight, again staying wet and windy in the north. Welcome back to Good Morning Britain. You join us at the beautiful location, which is Hampton Court Palace. And I'm at this beautiful outdoor display for remembrance. There are 75 poppies in the display here behind me. There are 100 soldiers that have been doing a tour of the country. It's called Standing with Giants. But here specifically at the palace, they've added 25 Indian soldiers to mark the history that the palace had, because the soldiers came here, camped out on the grounds and joined in a huge parade back in 1909. You can come and see these. They're here every single day until the end of the month, but Mondays and Tuesdays, the palace at the moment is closed. closed. Now, weather-wise, if you're stepping out the house this morning, some of us need an umbrella, some of us will need to grab those extra layers because it is cold. But the weather this week, actually, I think for many of us, milder than it was last week. But for today, this is how things are looking. A weather front moved into Scotland and Northern Ireland overnight last night, and that means it's a cloudy day, outbreaks of rain, heaviest in the west, breezy here too, sheltered for some eastern areas, so some dry weather around. Wales, southwest England, you'll cloud over through the day, overcast grey skies, bit damp and drizzly, a little misty and murky through western coasts. Central and eastern areas, a chilly start, but a sunny start to the day at least. And it stays largely fine and dry through the day, perhaps a little cloudier by the afternoon, with temperatures into the mid-teens. Through this evening and overnight tonight, we still have the cloudy conditions through northern areas where it stays mild, breezy and wet. Southern areas clear, cold and frosty. And for many of us, we do it all over again tomorrow.
There, not just having a lazy morning in the studio. Touch something, Laura. You need to touch something. Pick up a stone.
Maybe I'm ruining the shot. I should probably get out of the shot.
I believe you. There we go.
I can't.
I've overdone this now. There we go. She is telling the truth. I think. Oh, we've got some really. I mean, the camera move. Turn the camera left and right. We need to know this. It looks fake. Can the camera move? No, I've wasted enough time. Yes, there we go. Oh, what's that thing there? That light. It's real, everybody. You can still trust Good Morning Britain.
Good morning to you. You'd also need your roving weather reporter, and to prove it, I would have to be there. The temperature is 29 degrees there, their top temperatures, and I tell you that would be very nice because it is cold and frosty where we are this morning at Hampton Court Palace. A beautiful remembrance display here. It's on until the end of the month. It's called Standing with Giants. We'll be exploring that a little later on this morning. But weather-wise, this week generally, other than it being a cold, frosty morning, is said to be milder than it was last week, particularly by day. At the moment, though, the weather's divided. Scotland and Northern Ireland, a weather front moved in, bringing cloudy skies, outbreaks of rain. That's heavy and fairly windy, damp and drizzly through Wales and southwest England with overcast skies, but plenty of sunshine for central and eastern areas of England.
And a fitting tribute to remembrance there. So if you have a chance to go and look at it, people, please do.
It's very beautiful.
And a very significant week.
It is very, very beautiful, and there'll be plenty more still to come later.